Yeah, good day everyone. And for those of you that are new to the channel, my name's Gary and I'm on a mission to build an off-grid regenerative farm, bring people closer to nature and celebrate the Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ. Using all the permaculture skills, growing food, collecting rainwater, storing and harvesting the solar energy, integrating animals, composting, creating nutrient cycles, putting all of the goodness back down into the earth, and feeding the biology of the soil, and therefore making our plants and the animals that graze upon the land on top of it healthy. So yeah, a bit of an update then since I was last here. I'm here today with my son Tyler. He's there, and he's using the super duper turbocharged still FSA 400 battery operated brush cutter, and that is an absolute beast. And what we're doing is we're just at the moment we're just using the nylon string or whatever it is, just streaming through the long grass. The grass is a little bit wet, it's got that morning dew and it's quite thick, and that brush cutter, even on the second setting, is just the middle setting is just mincing through it. So yeah, that was an investment. It was quite a lot of money, but I've got to keep on top of this grass. So I think we're already nearly at 4 foot in some areas, and if you can see there, we've got rushes because there's some puddling of water. We're on quite heavy clay, so there's some puddling of water, which creates creates the environment for thrushes to thrive. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. I only had a couple of hours sleep. Drove here last night. So yeah, rushes, not thrushes. That'd be something else, wouldn't it? So yeah, this steel brush cutter, that's got the nylon head on it, but I can put a what's it called, a polycut head, which is essentially 2 plastic blades, and that'll get through all of the rushes, that'll get through the brambles. It is like, I don't know, one of the best bits of kit I've ever seen. The batteries charge super quick. There's a decent runtime on the batteries, and I'm just buzzing, because really buying something like handheld like that, I know there's a little bit of extra work. Most of the land, once everything's built, the animals are going to graze. The areas that the animals won't graze, then I can just buzz around with the brush cutter. And so yeah, that saved quite a bit of money on purchasing some bigger farm machinery, like some sort of like sit-on lawnmower or something like that. So I saved myself a few quid. And another good thing is that once we get animals here, things like rabbits and stuff like that, sheep, goats even, they need feed throughout the winter when they're not out on the pasture. So when they're in the barn, they're going to need a source of hay. So now I can actually produce my own hay, essentially, albeit by hand. But going to try and go down the battery powered tool route as much as possible. So those of you that have been keeping up with the channel, when I was last here, I finished off my fence, and I also got a drainage pipe in along the entrance there, somewhere around there. And all it is was I dug a trench from next door where there's a high spot, dug a trench about a foot wide. You can see it there. Yeah, about a foot wide, and I laid in 2 lengths of 4-inch perforated drainage pipe, and then I backfilled it with the aggregate that I got ordered in, this 40mm scalpins, or type 2 it's called. Anyway, so here's a story to tell you. So I was in this little tight area. Imagine that panel there and the gravel board that wasn't there. I left that one off. So I was in here with the machine, the digger, and I was really trying to be careful. But as I slewed round, I knocked the fence post. So the fence post is the gate post is slightly out. And then when I came up further up here to dig the trench, I knocked my first fence post. I couldn't believe it. Knocked it about 1 inch out. I was mortified, wounded. And then just for good measure, I dinked into that gate post as well. So I'd knocked them all out. I was like almost crying. And you only have to knock them a little bit. It wasn't like swing round and bosh. It was just as I slewed, forgetting where you were in the tight space, I rocked the foundations, baby. And now we're all a little bit pissed. But it's all good. Just a learning curve, innit? You know, working in tight spaces with machinery. But anyway, here's another story. I dug out the trench, right? I got down probably about a foot, if that, and I started to channel the water, and it actually started to run clear. And, you know, we were in mid-June, we had just had a bit of rain, so not a lot, and this little gully was running clear. So I laid this is the thing, right? So I had a full dumper, so the dumper carries 3 tons, so I had 3 ton of aggregate ready to go. And I said to myself, whatever you do, make sure that you go and put the pipe in first. Go and lay the pipe. Once you've laid the pipe, then you tip the aggregate in, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think you're all following along. It's not too technical, trust me. Anyway, in a moment of my absent-mindedness, forgetfulness, I was in the dumper with the 3 ton, and this was getting on late on the day. I've been hard at it all day, and I just wanted to get it done and know that the job was done. Anyway, my plan was to drive over with the dumper, because, you know, it's quite a way away, the aggregate. Drive over by the dumper and just park the dumper next to the trench, yeah? Lay the pipe, tip the dumper, spread the aggregate out, jobs are good, and go home. Tea and toast. Tea, toast and medals, we used to say in the military. Tea, toast and medals. But no, that wasn't the case. So I came over in the dumper, moment of forgetfulness, and just tipped the whole 3 tons straight in the trench. As soon as I did it, I just stood there like that. And do you know what? I didn't want to get the machine back in to dig it out, because I didn't want to dink my fence posts or my gate posts any more than I already had. So I picked up the lonely shovel and I got at it for about an hour and a half, just shoveling, getting it all out of the trench. So I redug it. I couldn't believe it. And then I just sort of, I don't know, I just had a little chuckle to myself. Obviously God wanted me to dig the trench twice to make sure that it was perfect to his standards. So yeah, thought I'd share that little story with you. It did make me chuckle. But yeah, so I've got my son here for a couple of days. He's currently busy with the brush cutter, getting strimming. I've just literally brought a load of tools, like spent a lot of money on these tools, but these tools are going to, they're an asset, and they're going to come in, they're going to be really valuable as the project develops. But all the tools are in the hard stand, in the shipping container, and Roxy's empty nearly, so she's feeling a little bit light on her toes. Roxy the van, for those of you who don't know, I've lived in Roxy nearly 5 years, full-time van life, and the plan to live in the van, move out of an apartment, well, one, rent was getting super expensive. It was just before COVID, and I decided to move into a van to save money so I could buy some land. Fast forward nearly 6 years, and got the land, or shall I say God's earth. It's not land, it's God's earth. Brought a little patch of God's earth, and now I get to play, well, I was going to say get to play God, but I won't use that term. I get to play the creation, the creator playing with creation, or the creation playing with the creation. Just creating and playing, and that's part of the project, is to get kids involved, get them out of the schools, get them out of the the little indoctrination camps, get them planting trees, get their hands in the soil, get them building, get them leading themselves in community, and connected back to nature. That's the goal. So we're cracking on here at Free Oak Farm. Subscribe, follow along, and all that, share and all that jazz if you feel inspired to. And so this week, update this week, I'm here with the resources, the tools, and we're going to be building a compost toilet. So one of the rules in permaculture is you capture and store the energy, and essentially human waste is energy, right? It's compost. After it rots down, it can go out on the trees, and it's going to be a really, really good, valuable source of nutrition for the plants. So this week, mission to build a compost toilet. It's going to have a urine separator, which means the urine will be separated from the feces, and we'll collect the feces. I'm going to divert the urine to a reed bed, essentially, which is a hole in the ground filled with wood chip and organic matter, and the urine comes in, absorbs into the organic matter, and then it'll be planted out with like quag plants around the outside, herbaceous plants, nice smelling plants to essentially take up the nitrogen which is in the urine, in the urethra. So compost toilet, going to build a metre high base from outer blocks, from the floor, from a little shallow foundation. That will be the poo housing, I suppose, where the big 220 litre barrel will be sort of put in and out. On top of that, I'll build a floor, and then I'll build the 4 walls out of a frame, clad it all up, put a slanting roof on, divert the water from the roof into a tank so we can have a gravity fed hand wash station. The overflow from that will go in the urine pipe and feed the reed bed. So yeah, there you go. There's 10 minutes of what's going on at Free Oak Farm. Wish me luck this week. I'm here with my son for a couple of days. I'm going to get him, essentially put the ox to the plough, so to speak, and yeah, just get cracking and see how much I can do. I'll update later on in the week, let you know how I got on. Go well, have a blessed day and enjoy.